I felt like purpose had to be traditional.
Yeah.
But I like the fact now that I was a little delusional in a sense about my career and found my purpose.
You kind of tripped into it, but not really, but kind of.
Yeah, and I feel like if there's hope for people who feel like they don't have purpose currently, because they can stumble upon it.
It's Thursday, April 6th. It is spring. Easter is coming. So this is a Token CEO podcast. I'm Erica. I'm the CEO of Barstool Sports. You know that because you're listening to this, so I appreciate you doing that. Before we get into it, let's just say thank you to Omega Accounting Solutions, the only ad read I've ever been able to do from the heart. So what's great about Omega Accounting Solutions is that their only mission in life is to help small businesses. Who doesn't love that? We love that over here. If you had a small business during COVID and you employed people, one, shout out you. Two, you could be eligible for up to $26,000 per employee due to something called the Employee Retention Credit, which is, I believe, part of the CARES Act. So all you have to do to figure out if you can get $26,000 back or not is to call Omega Accounting Solutions or go to omegataxcredits.com/barstoolsports. That's omegataxcredits.com/barstoolsports. And you fill out this quick and easy form where you have a 10-minute conversation and you can find out if you are eligible. So Omega Accounting Solutions, small business champion. They're obsessed with you getting the money that you deserve. They've got all the bells and whistles of big accounting firms, but they're like average guys and girls. They'll help you in your small business, whether you make energy drinks or coffee or computers, or you have a little media company, or you make hats in Vermont, whatever it may be. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you. If you call 1-855-505-DAVE, that's 1-855-505-DAVE, you can learn more now. All right, so we have a special episode today. We have Robyn DelMonte joining us. Robyn is awesome. You may know her as Girl Boss Town. I have now started following Robyn on social, and she's just everywhere. She's like on stage all the time. She's got all these little outfits. Like, she's cute. She's like having her moment. She's making things happen. She had come to Barstool a couple months ago, and I think I had seen her on Content. I saw her on Content Kim's show, and I loved what she had to say. And more importantly, I loved the attitude with which she said it. But what I think is really cool about Robyn is that she's created an influencer business that's about reaching influencers, but she herself as an influencer is making content telling brands how they can be better marketers. So essentially, she's an influencer. She tags all sorts of brands. She gives them the playbook for how they could have a better business or certainly have better marketing. And now she's creating a company that helps brands reach consumers through influencers, which is pretty cool. So we will hand it to our interview. She's great, also from Medford, Mass. And just small side note, I did figure out the deli, which is called Bob's. So if you ever go to Medford, Massachusetts, go to this deli called Bob's. It's amazing. It's like a little hole in the wall. It's awesome. Best Italian sandwich ever. And so we'll hand it to Robyn. Okay, so I'm just so interested in you.
Thank you.
I think you're very interesting.
Thank you. That's a good compliment.
Yeah, you're very interesting. So you did publicity, then you did, what was Content Kim's show?
Was it because I
Did you
said
do
so?
Because I said so? Or Mother Knows Best? You did Mother Knows Best.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what's your deal? Explain, what makes you tick every day?
So I wanted to be in this space for so long.
An influencer space?
No.
Or the PR space? Or you're
a little bit of
so
both.
Many spaces.
Yeah. So I define myself as I work in social strategy, trend forecasting, and creative development for brands and for myself.
Okay, great.
So
That's a good pitch.
Thank you. So I think it's just as important to be behind the camera as it is in front.
Sure. Yep.
So I was the ultimate consumer growing up. I say TV was my babysitter.
Yeah.
And a lot of the interests that I had, people said were vapid.
Okay.
Growing up, I wasn't the best student.
Sure.
And I've capitalized on all of those things and turned it into a career.
And do you have clients who you work with behind the scenes?
Yes.
And you have clients you work with in front of the screen?
Yes. And then I also do stuff for myself because I'm building a brand simultaneously as well.
Okay, great. Yep.
In the long run, I would love to just have a creative agency and do most behind the scenes, but doing in front of the camera stuff, I wanted to be the next Oprah growing up. So this kind of feeds the ego a little bit, but also allows me to connect with people, and I love doing that. But I would never consider myself as like an influencer, not that that's a good or bad thing, but I feel like that's not like the term that I would like call myself.
Do you think that word is loaded?
I think it's loaded, but I also don't think it's a bad word. Like, I think that influencer, you have influence over people. That is basically marketing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad word, but when people ask me, like, what I do, it took me a while to kind of define that. Yeah. And I feel like I'm still defining that, and I hope I continue to define that, because I hope I learn to do more. Yeah, exactly, as I grow.
And how, are you a one-woman team, or do you have a team with you? Like,
so but my team is like, I am signed to UTA. I have my agents. I have like a business manager. I have like a corporate team around me, but I haven't hired anybody to work for me yet.
Okay. But are you hoping to?
Yes, I would hope. I want to as I start to expand. But I think that creativity is so personal and vulnerable. So to be able to hire somebody to think like me, but also bring their own ideas to the table, that's going to be a difficult process to hire someone, but I'm looking forward to doing it, because I want to make space for people like me in the industry who have a non-traditional story, and I want to kind of tap into that more.
And of your time, like so UTA helps you book gigs for you, right?
Essentially, yeah, and also my content, I make content being like, here are PR moves I would have for Barstool. I think they should do A, B, and C. So that's kind of like me reaching out to them by like putting out a digital resume or what I think that they should do. They come into contact with me and my UTA team work together to kind of go about.
And the UTA people are like, okay, you need to pay her this and she'll do that for you.
But they also bring in deals as well.
Okay.
Because I mean, UTA changed my life so much. I actually wanted to work for them when I moved to LA for a little bit, like back in 2016. I know they were the best of the best when it came to digital. So I love my team there so much. And they're allowing me to do traditional stuff, but also come up with, what does this look like? Like, what does Girl Boss Town look like? How can we utilize this? How can we tap into the industry? And we've done so much in 1 year that have paved my way, that is like so non-traditional, and I love them for it. And I think it's like a team effort.
That's so funny. I've rarely heard people talk about their agents so glowingly. You should have them buy you.
I mean, we'll see.
You could create a business for them inside of UTA.
We've had larger, not like larger conversations. Me and UTA aren't at Starbucks doing it. But that is, I would love to have like a division, a creative agency of my own in the long run. And I think UTA is allowing me to get so much experience as well. I mean, I was waitressing this time last year.
So it's just been a year?
It's been like a year and 2 months,
No way. Yeah, where were you waitressing?
I was
in Boston?
Yeah, at Julia in Cambridge.
Okay.
So I worked in the corporate marketing space.
Yep, you were in PR, yeah?
Yes. My first job was in PR, and then I was in LA because I thought my life was going to be like the hills, but in reality, it was not.
Okay.
I was like minoring and partying and majoring and figuring out how to be an adult. Like, I didn't know anything. But I think life experience is so valuable when it comes to your career as well. So I'm glad I did that. And in LA, I wanted to do what I'm doing now, and it just didn't work out. And then I had to move home for family reasons, and I took like corporate marketing jobs, email marketing campaigns, and I was like, this is not it.
This sucks. Yeah.
And I had no offense to anybody who does that because it's needed, but I had a 25-year-old life crisis post-COVID, and I was like, you know what? I'm quitting my corporate job. I'm going to go to esthetician school. If I have to work every day for the rest of my life, I want to do something I love and I'm passionate about. I love beauty. Quit my job in July of 2021. Started waitressing. My esthetician school was supposed to start in October. Started posting on TikTok, and by November I was with UTA. Quit my waitressing job in January of 2022. So like last year, a year ago. And my life has completely shifted and changed.
And how do you feel? Like, if you were to put like 3 words right now on how you feel.
I would say blessed, excited, like for the future. And the last word would probably just be like, I just said that I didn't have stability because my job was like all over the place. But like, I feel like to be financially stable by doing what I love is like something I never thought was achievable.
It's such a thrill. Yeah,
it's
such a thrill.
And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. So like grateful maybe would be like the last word.
That's great.
Yeah, for sure.
And are you good about saving money?
Yes, because I have single mom syndrome. So, I mean, my dad is in my life, but I was raised by a single mom. My dad was both my parents were super business and work orientated.
Okay.
But being raised by a single mom in a house with 3 other sisters, like we shopped at Salvation Army, Goodwill, Market Basket all day.
Yeah.
Shout out Market Basket, love, sale section, everything. So in my brain...
Dollar store? Did you have a dollar store?
Of course.
I love the dollar store.
Yeah, dollar store. And we'd go to the dollar store before the movie and put the candy in our bag so we wouldn't have to spend the money there.
Yeah.
But I love that type of stuff. So I feel like I'm good with money in that sense. And one of the very first things that like I did once I got a career was like get a good lawyer and like a business manager to make sure in the future I'm set up. And I would just want longevity both financially and creatively.
Yep.
And I think those are the steps you have to take to do that.
That's so great.
Yeah. And I knew nothing. So like that's another reason.
So you're self-taught.
Yeah, but that's why I like praise like a UTA and my team especially because I felt like I never wanted to go into meetings and be like, hey guys, I know nothing about this. Because that's like,
you don't
screw me
dumb.
over my forehead.
Yeah.
But I've kind of been like a sponge this past year.
Yep.
And I've learned so much about this industry
Yep.
that I feel like that was the first year was like being a sponge, learning everything I can. Second year now, I'm like capitalizing off of the things that I loved and that I think I did a good job in.
Yep.
And kind of networking more.
Yeah.
I do a lot of panels. Like I'm in town for Female Founders Fund, which is a CEO summit. I love going to conferences. I love talking to people in this space, in this industry and getting personal with them so that if I do try to raise capital and expand, not only will they know me on like a personal level, but they'll know and see my journey and my growth.
We're going to take a quick break from Robyn and talk about Rocket Money. So Robyn, because she is being thoughtful about her income and she is counting her blessings every day and she's in it to win it, is probably not wasting money on unwanted subscriptions. You, on the other hand, probably are. I know I certainly am. What's awesome about Rocket Money is it helps you get all of your subscriptions organized into one place so that you can understand exactly what you're subscribing to. You can answer the question, do I want to be subscribed to that? Which is probably the answer, definitively yes or definitively no. No one subscribes to anything they don't really care about. And you can save yourself a lot of money. Most Americans think they spend about $80 a month on subscriptions, but the actual total is much closer to $200. Chances are you have forgotten about all the things you're subscribed to. I have done that time and time again. Rocket Money quickly and easily finds your subscriptions. They list them out for you and they make it so easy to unsubscribe, which is the biggest thing of all, because if you've ever tried to unsubscribe from something that people do not want you to unsubscribe from, it is a colossal pain in the butt. So stop throwing unwanted money away. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/token. That's rocketmoney, rocketmoney.com/token, rocketmoney.com/token. All right, now back to Robyn. And what's like a couple mistakes you've made this year that you wouldn't repeat?
Like within the first year that I did this?
Yeah.
Probably taking things too personally.
Okay.
I grew up in a house with like 3 sisters, so we would like fist fight over the hair straightener. I have thick skin, like I can do this. But with creativity comes vulnerability.
Yeah.
And being vulnerable on the internet is a great thing, and I think it gave me a career, but it's a disaster. And I take it very, very personally.
Yeah.
But I think what I've realized, to even have a platform to be vulnerable at is a privilege.
Yeah.
And I don't think it comes with the territory, but like I just try to think of it as
a little
like,
bit of the tax.
Yeah, I'm like, at least I have a platform. This is something I always wanted, so I have to take it with stride.
Do you read the comments?
Yes. Unfortunately, I always say it's like people say don't read the comments, but imagine if you had a whiteboard in front of you being like, you're ugly, you're stupid, like all day long, and I would be like trying not to look, but it's like right in front of me. So I do read the comments, and sometimes I need criticism. Yeah. I'm not like naive.
It's humbling,
and sometimes people are right, and I'm like, wait, I never even thought of it like that. Yeah. So I try to do a healthy mixture of reading it to like humble myself and like not look when they get crude. Yeah.
And how did you come up with the brand Girl Boss Town?
So I originally lived in LA right after school, and my roommate and I had a podcast called Girl Boss Town where we talked about pop culture's past, present, and prediction. Okay. And it came to me because we were from like the Boston area, like Girl Boss Down.
Oh, okay.
And that's the one branding mistake I've always made. Nobody knows it's supposed to be like Girl Boston, and I'm like this branding queen in my name. Nobody even gets, but it's whatever.
That's better than Girl Boss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I like GBT, but then she went back to school. She's so supportive of this, is in like teaching now, and I took it and came to TikTok with the same name and kind of posted more about pop culture stuff at first. And I started going viral, and I did not Alex Earl in any way. Like, my virality and my followers, I think, have been consistent and almost like, so I didn't blow up extremely fast. I think it's been like very consistent, which I love.
Okay.
But when I started going viral, I was talking about pop culture. I'd be like, this is what the Kardashians would order at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
But there's a difference between going viral and growing a following.
Okay.
And I started growing a following when I started talking about PR moves, marketing, advertising
Stuff
ideas.
you really loved.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people resonated with that. And I use that now as a currency to go to brands and be like, look, not only are people interested in your product, but they're interested in the process. Like, my following is showing that they want to see this. They're involved in this. And I feel like for a long time, advertising in 2016 to 2018, when influencer marketing was first introduced, it went one way and it went well. So people ran with that and haven't really grown since that.
I think they also didn't understand why they were running towards that.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of want to bring it back to like, just storytelling, nostalgia. It's all about human emotion. Like, what makes you stop scrolling when you're on your phone? What makes you like look up at a billboard and go back to the basics a little bit, while also utilizing all the modern world of like influencing and like what you can do with that in a non-choosy way.
What's an example of a brand that you've made a series of TikToks for, and that like...
So the brand Bliss was the first brand that ever was like, okay, we want to hire you for an ad campaign. We want you to like write...
Bliss as in the scrubs and the lemon scenting.
No. It's like skincare. Okay. They wanted me to write the copy, pick the influencers for the ad, come up with the music, do everything, and then make a video of me explaining my process.
Okay.
They were the very first brand that ever like gave me the reins fully and was allowing me to talk about it.
So they're like, it's like Barstool Sports in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. Make the thing and then tell the story of how you made the thing.
Yeah, lift up the curtain a little bit.
So smart.
Yes,
so
thank
smart.
you.
I hope they paid you a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk money, but I do think that I credit myself for my creativity, but I think right when I came into the industry is when brands were looking around the boardroom being like, what do people want? Like, what do people want? Instead of tapping the people and the people who are on this app every day and seeing their perspective. Out what they want.
Yeah.
So I came in right when brands started to utilize creators on the back end of the process as well. And I think it was like perfect timing. And I hope that I'm definitely not the first person to do this, and I hope I'm not the last, but I'm really excited for the future of marketing and advertising when it comes to the creator economy, or even just my career, because I feel like people are really starting to value the opinions of people like me and utilize that in the marketing
could I
space.
hire you? I have this brand Work Like a Girl. I haven't done shit with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it should be so much more than it is. Can I hire you to consult with me to grow that brand?
That's what I do.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what I do. And I work with small scale businesses, bigger businesses. It all kind of comes down to the vision and if people want to allow somebody creative to come in. And I understand that there's businesses and brands who would look at somebody like me and be like, well, who the hell is this girl? Like,
what the
I have
fuck
a marketing department, you know what I mean? And I'm in here like, no, you guys are doing it all wrong. They're like, we've been here for 20 years.
Yeah, and you're like, exactly.
Yeah, so it's finding a happy medium of like working with their idea and what they want out of this, because that's like the most important. And then utilizing my experience and like how I have my finger in the pulse of what's relevant in this industry, in this space, and my creativity as well, making a happy medium.
And do you ever feel caught in like you have so much work for other people versus growing GBT, or
that is?
Like, do you feel overwhelmed? I thought you might say overwhelmed is one of your words. I love that it's not, but
I try not to be, because this is something I feel like to say I was overwhelmed of something that I've always wanted is a little...
Yeah, that's rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Because there was a point where I was sitting in cubicles, like eating my lunch at 12, like hungover with mascara under my eyes, watching people blow up on TikTok, and I'd be like, that should be me. But like, so I would never say overwhelmed. But I will say, having to navigate that is very difficult.
Okay.
And I have a lot to grow in that aspect because it's like
you should have a team that works for you.
I know. I've only been doing this for 12 months. No, I know.
I'm going to overwhelm you.
Okay,
You are so good at this. You're
Thank
you.
The
future of marketing. It's so cool.
That is quite the title, and I love that so much. And I think it's going to be really exciting when I can have a team, and hopefully that's sooner rather than later, because I think there's so many people with stories like me who are in cubicles on marketing departments.
I mean, half this company is like,
and they're so creative.
Yeah.
But nobody's utilizing them. Yeah. So I want to be able to take people who have non-traditional stories and like allow them to do what they do best and like make magic. And I think
so cool.
That's right.
So what do you like and not like about LA?
LA?
Yeah.
I lived in LA for 2 years without purpose.
Okay.
When I'm there, I feel like I lived out there without purpose for a long time and I didn't like it. And now when I go back, I have purpose.
Yep.
And when you have purpose in LA, it is so exciting and there's so much opportunity and it makes me feel like I'm not just talking to a phone screen in my bedroom in Medford, Massachusetts. And that's what I like about LA. I also grew up watching A True Hollywood Story. I did a presentation on Jessica Simpson Newlyweds in the 2nd grade. Like, I just loved that life. Yeah. So going out there,
there's a spark to it.
Yeah, and there's like an inner child that'll like, oh my God, about it. What I don't like about LA is like you can have the most fun and get to do the coolest things in the world. But if I'm not with my friends that I went to elementary school with and the people who actually know me and love me, like it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like less grounded.
I like to experience these big life events that are so incredible, but I also love to go back home to be with the people who have known me forever and go to dive bars and just like hang out with my friends and do that type of stuff. That's fuels me.
I totally get that. I think that's it's not just LA though. I think that's what's so exciting about you is that you have purpose.
Yes.
Like you have really good
And I feel like also if there's anybody listening to this, it takes time to find your purpose. Yeah. And I feel like I was looking at everybody's timelines. I mean, I'm not old by any means, but I'm 28 and all my friends had the jobs that fit them and we're in relationships and we're buying houses. And I was like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? Just like obsessing over the internet, looking for an apartment, single. Like I felt like purpose had to be traditional.
Yeah.
But I like the fact now that I was a little delusional in a sense about my career and found my purpose.
You kind of tripped into it, but not really, but kind of.
Yeah, and I feel like if there's hope for people who feel like they don't have purpose currently, because they can stumble upon it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just take a quick break to talk about C4 Energy. How cool is this can? Like, I love this can. I love the matte finish. This actually looks shockingly like a can we almost made for Call Her Daddy when we were going to make a Call Her Daddy seltzer. No lie, I kept the can on my desk and then all of a sudden it started leaking, so it's probably good we never made that. Anyway, C4 Energy is much better for you than a Call Her Daddy seltzer. It is an energy drink. It's made by C4 Energy. This is the Arctic Snow Cone. I love the color blue. I love the name. They've got no artificial colors, no artificial flavors, and it gives you superhuman performance. Who can't use superhuman performance? So when you go to work and you're like, ugh, I'm dragging today. I worked out too hard. I partied too hard. I'm just not into doing the daily operating report. That's what I've been saying this week, not into the daily operating report. C4 Energy can help you get the focus that you need to make it through your day with the level of energy that you want. The new look and feel of C4 Energy is also now available in 6 flavors. They are each formulated to support focus and attention, and they have natural energy derived from green coffee beans with 0 sugar, 0 artificial colors, and 0 artificial flavors. Get C4 Smart Energy at c4energy.com. That's c4energy.com, or you can go to Amazon and retailers nationwide. C4, stay focused. All right, now we're back to the interview. How would you give people advice like overcoming fear or overcoming, like, because you're very non-traditional. Like,
yeah.
And you are of your own making.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even my upbringing was very untraditional, and I've gone through certain things. And I think to get over fear, you kind of have to recognize that, like, if you're going to be your own biggest obstacle, then your limits are endless.
Yeah.
Because you can get over that. It's way easier said than done. But if you put the same amount of energy and effort into, like, getting over the fear that you're putting into self-doubt, then like you can conquer anything.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier said than done. Like it's hard to answer that question because everybody's fears are different and everybody's different.
At different times.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
I have so many questions for you. Are you in your phone all day long?
Yes, but I've learned to take a step back because I love my phone and I love the internet and I love my job. But like I said, I'll catch myself when I'm genuinely happy, and those moments are not on my phone.
Yep.
So this is gonna sound controversial, I get that. I'm doubting myself, but when I do find those moments when I am genuinely happy, I have a list in my phone and I write it down.
Okay.
And I try to go to look to those things when I feel like I'm in a rut.
Yeah.
And on my phone too much and try to like get off of
recalibrate.
It. Yeah. Because being on your phone, like there's a new like thing that the kids are saying. It's called like being chronically online. Like people are calling haters like chronically online, or like, you know, you're chronically online when. So I try not to be chronically online. Yeah, write that down.
I have an entire business built on being chronically online.
Same. So I'm like, actually, everybody stay chronically online.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And then how's Boston?
I love Boston so much. It's
the best, right?
I love it, and I always wondered like why Barstool doesn't have another office in Boston, like called like Hometown, or like going back to the roots, because Boston is Barstool, like literally.
It's so funny.
So I think they would do great if they had.
We're gonna have a bar in Boston.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be insane. I love it.
Do you consider yourself a Boston girl?
Yes, but don't get it twisted, haters. Like, I'm not from Boston. I'm from New Hampshire. Like,
they get mad if you're like
if I say I'm from Boston, and like I would too. If somebody said they were from Nashville, New Hampshire, and they're not, I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
But I am definitely a Boston girl. Yeah. 100%. My dad has 2 Red Sox tattoos. Okay. So I don't think you can get like more Boston girl than
Boston.
that. But I love it so much. And when I tell people I'm from Boston or I live in Boston, they're like, what? Like, why? Like, especially in this space. And I'm like, I think to have a place to decompress is like the reason why I think I could do this forever. Yeah. Because if I didn't have like a Boston to come home to decompress to, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing.
Do you get recognized everywhere you go now?
I would not say everywhere, but yes, I do. I definitely selfie, because that's very much for like.
Is that your haunt?
What?
Is that your haunt?
Well, yeah, like, and I feel like most of my followers like are Southie, and I lived in Southie for 2 years.
Where'd you live in Southie?
N Street.
Okay, and I lived between O and P.
Nice. And then I also lived right behind the Broadway for a year.
Okay.
So when I go there, I get recognized, and I love that because I love the people that I follow online, and I feel like a lot of people are like, I didn't know you lived in Boston. So it's cool. I mean, I'm never the type that's like.
How do you feel about like Tinks and everybody? Like,
from what?
Like, are people competitive? Are you guys competitive?
I feel like I'm more competitive with myself in a sense. Yeah. Like, I would look at other people's careers and compare, but I don't think the industry within face-to-face is super competitive. Yeah. Maybe behind our screens we're all like, wait, I want that, or like, I should have gotten that.
Or you're like, God damn it, that was a good idea.
But I like when people have good ideas, because that's like my thing. But I feel like when I first started out, there were certain people who have helped me get to where I'm at. So I'll always have respect for the other people in my industry. And when I see people coming up, I just want to like kind of pay my respects to them as well.
Help them too.
Because I got so much help. When I started going to red carpets, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
like,
what do I do here?
Like, I have no idea. And there's certain people that like not only made sure I felt comfortable, but included me in conversations and like made me felt like I belonged. So
that's so great.
Yeah.
All right, tell people where they follow you, how they find you.
At Girl Boss Town on TikTok and Instagram.
Great.
Yes.
And I'm gonna hire you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got cameras. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much. I feel like time is the biggest currency in this industry. So for you to take the time to speak with me is massive.
God, no. For you to come here. All right, that's it for today. That's all we're doing. And we will see you back here next week.